Comedies! Time to talk about comedies. As time goes by, I'm holding up our old VHS copy of Season 1, but I've really got to buy these on DVD. But as time goes by, it's adorable. It's the most gentle of quintessentially British comedies, and it's got Geoffrey Palmer and Judi Dench as Jean and Lionel, and they're reunited after years, and it's just beautiful. I love that show. It's completely harmless and completely innocent, and it's the kind of show you just want to hug. And I adore it. And it was the one show, actually, from memory, one of the very few shows that my entire family we'd all watch together. My mum and dad and my sister and myself, we used to all sit down and we'd watch it together, and really enjoyed it, so it's very rare for that. Yeah, love as time goes by. Gilmore Girls, I've talked about Gilmore Girls in the past. I've done a big rant on Gilmore Girls. I will link it in the doobly-doo. But at the end of the day, I still consider myself a huge fan of this series. I've got a million issues with it, but I'm still loyal to the characters and the world of Stars Hollow, and I will always be a fan of Gigi. So Gilmore Girls for sure. Vicar of Dibley, this is probably one of the other series maybe that my whole family would watch together, but yeah, love it. Even though it had some off episodes and some episodes that felt a bit forced, especially some of the special editions that they had. But it was rare, it was unique in that they didn't feel the need to bring out a season every year. They just, Richard Curtis said they would make episodes when they felt like it, when they felt it was warranted, and just air them whenever. So there's like huge gaps between the 3 proper seasons and then some of the special editions and whatnot. So it's sprinkled all over the shop, but it's still, for the most part, all the characters remain consistent, and I get the universe they're in, and I just still have a good laugh with it and really love them all, and yeah, just think the characterizations were awesome, and everyone loves Alice. Who doesn't love Alice? And I know her entire I can't believe it's not butter monologue, so yeah, top-notch stuff. Really love Vicar. Daria. I was a huge Daria fan back when it used to be on TV, so I was, like many people, waiting for all the years it took for them to get the rights to put the damn thing on DVD. And I have it now. I have the complete series with the movies and everything in it, but my friend has it at the moment, so I can't hold it up. But I do have it. Love Daria. Love Trent. Love Mystic Spiral. Big Daria fan. Pushing Daisies. I only own Season 1. I've got to buy Season 2. I'm not sure if it's on sale in this country, but do have to get Season 2. I think this is quite an acquired taste. It's very quirky, but I really enjoyed it, and I found it a lot of fun. The narration at times, although I love Jim Dale, the narration at times got a bit tiresome for me, and I wish they could have maybe had some episodes where it was left out, or they eased off on it a little bit, and it had some patterns to it that were a bit too repetitive and predictable, but I still enjoyed the tone of it, and I think it was fun and interesting and just something a bit different. Dead Like Me, which is another show I love that also got cancelled, and there's 2 seasons of it, and there's a movie that sucked ass apparently, so I'm not watching that. But I love the 2 seasons. The first season probably more than the second one, because they did a few things in the second one I was kind of like a bit iffy about. But huge fan of Dead Like Me. It had very much had its own tone, and it was odd, but odd in the right way, and I just really enjoyed Dead Like Me. Mandy Patinkin, favourite performance you've ever given, even more so than Inigo Montoya, which I know is blasphemy, but I love Mandy Patinkin in Dead Like Me. Community, I do not have my Community here because someone's borrowing it, but I'd been hearing about Community for some time, and then when we went overseas, we did a number of studio tours when we were in LA, and they were filming Community, and we got to go past them in our little buggy cart. So I saw Annie and I saw Britta outside, and outside their school, outside Greendale Community College, and that was exciting, even though I was not a fan of the show at that time. I'd not seen it, and the guy's like, Community's really good, but they're going to be cancelling it, so everyone on the lot is petitioning to get it back up, and we're protesting and stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's sad, because I knew people who were fans of the show. So the minute I got home, I'm like, people give me Community, I need to watch Community. So I watched it and fell in love with it. And some episodes are a bit tiresome, the comedy feels a bit forced, but for the most part it's gold, and I love it. I love the way they handle emotion and sentiment in it. It's a very different approach they take, and it's quite subtle, and they put it in there when you're not expecting it. And the show is also so meta, like TV tropes goes nuts with Community, because they kind of just reference absolutely everything you could think of in terms of tropes, and it's great. I love it for that. It's very, very clever. But even aside from the comedy, which is excellent, I just really care about the characters, and when they do emotion and when they do more serious moments, it's beautifully handled, and I just really like Community. 6 seasons in a movie! Black Books, who doesn't love Black Books? There's Dylan Moran and Bill Bailey and Tasman, and it's great. I love Black Books. It's awesome, and that leads me into a show that in its beginning it was kind of compared to it, but the IT Crowd, the first few seasons, not so much the later ones, but seasons 1 and 2 I like a lot. Season 1 will always be my favourite though, because it had Denim, and Denim was my favourite character, damn it. I love Denim. Yeah, IT Crowd. It's a gem. Coupling, I don't have my coupling here either, but I got into coupling by my friend Fran. It's sort of an English version of Friends, but a lot raunchier, and so I watched it and I found it really funny. And the first 3 seasons, because they lose a certain actor in the 4th one because he got sick of it, which is understandable really, he was quite a caricature. I really love the male characters in coupling, even more so than the girls, so yeah, coupling's fun. Glee, I've ranted about Glee till I've been blue in the face, and I'll link all those videos in the doobly-doo as well, but at the end of the day, come rain, hail or shine, I still consider myself a Gleek, even though I do have a very, very strong love-it-hate-it relationship with the show these days, but I still do love Glee, even when I hate it, and I rather love hating it, if I'm honest. Another comedy series that I really enjoy, and I think it I love it for nostalgia purposes as well, just because I grew up on it, was The Nanny. I have seasons 1 and 2, and I should eventually try and purchase all of them, but I really like The Nanny. I love remembering why I enjoyed it as a child and what I can still appreciate now. My box set is coming undone. But yeah, just great nostalgia for the 90s as well. Dramas. These also spill over into action kind of shows, because I don't know what genre this really all fits into. A drama that I've certainly really gotten into is Sherlock, seasons 1 and 2. Sherlock is brilliant. I'd been hearing about it for quite some time, mainly because of these two. You know, everyone was talking about Benedict and Martin, and I was like, I probably should watch that one day, and my friend Anna kept telling me it really was great, and I'd love it. And so I thought, okay, I do want to get into it, because I'd been a huge fan of the Guy Ritchie adaptations of Sherlock Holmes, mainly because of the bromance. I love me some bromance. I do love me some slash pairings and slash fanfiction. I don't deny it, I go there. If it's well written, I totally go there. And I'd been hearing a lot about the bromance of this show, and thought, okay, I'll give it a watch. And then immediately just fell in love with it, and the bromance is epic! But even if you don't want to go down that road of slash pairing, you can still just appreciate it for what it is, and probably what the writers intended to be, which is just a really great friendship between the two guys, and the performances are top notch. I don't think I've ever seen a show, and this is considering all the shows I've already mentioned, I don't think I've ever seen a show where they are so quintessentially right on target with their characters that you just get the sense that you've got all this backstory and history that you can just understand and comprehend when you just watch them on screen. And everyone is so on the ball in this season, in this series. I applaud them all. They're great. Like Mark Gatiss as Mycroft is amazing. I love Andrew Scott as Moriarty. Some people don't, like my dad finds him really annoying, but I think he's brilliant. And Rupert Graves as Lestrade. I love you, Rupert Graves. So, and of course Ben and Martin are fantastic, and their relationship and their dynamic is amazing, and I think they're fantastic adaptations of the Holmes stories, and it's flawless TV. Game of Thrones, I've talked about that in the past. I've only seen season 1. It was addictive, compelling viewing, but very, very difficult for me emotionally. I was traumatized through much of it, so I've been really iffy about season 2. I've seen 5 episodes from season 2, and just told myself that I had to take a break because it was just getting too much for me. And I was kind of getting annoyed with the fact that it was getting too much for me. I wanted to be able to relax a tiny bit during one of the episodes, and I've never been able to. So, because I am very sensitive as a viewer, hopefully at one point I will be able to go back and watch season 2. But I still think it's really well made. So Once Upon a Time, I've talked about that. I'll link my review of that in the doobly-doo in my pants. I will totally be watching season 2 just to see what they're doing with it, and I'm still really curious about a lot of the storylines. I hope they're not inserting too many new things, in all honesty, into season 2, because there's still a lot of ground they have to cover with what is pre-existing right now in the universe, so I don't want it to be like we have to insert a heap more fairy tales and Disney illusions and stuff in there when you've got plenty of material to work with already. I just don't, it would get too much, it would be too messy, so I hope they hold back a little bit, but we'll see. Beauty and the Beast. Has anyone seen the original 80s TV series Beauty and the Beast, with Linda Hamilton and Ron Perlman. If you've not seen it, you must. You must, you must, you must. It's corntastic, like it's very 80s and very aware of how utterly 80s it is, but I think it's still beautifully crafted and really sweet and genuine, and I think a very clever adaptation of the Beauty and the Beast story into what was then modern time. And I just love the construction of the whole thing, and I love the universe that Vincent inhabits, and I just think it's really great. Seasons 1 and 2 more so. I've heard a lot of bad things about Season 3 because of something that happens in it and then where that leads, but I just think it's a really underappreciated show, especially now. I understand it was quite popular back when it aired, but certainly if you can get your hands on that, see it, especially since they're revamping it. And it looks frackin' awful. I will link the trailer in the doobly-doo. It looks utterly ridiculous, and I'm so angry that they're doing that. He's not even a frickin' beast. He's not a beast. What's the point? He's not a bloody beast. Oh my god. Even though I've still only seen season 1 of it, I really like the English version of Being Human. I've got to catch up on the seasons 2 and 3, but Season 1 I really enjoyed. And I quickly thought I would mention 2 guilty pleasures that I have. Robin Hood. I own the first 2 seasons. I've not watched much of Season 3. I think I watched the first 2 episodes and I was kind of like, I don't want to watch this. And if you've seen the end of Season 2, you know why I don't want to watch it, because I sort of thought they can't really do anything now because a certain someone's not there. But, yeah, I've actually seen the end of Season 3. I saw the last half hour of it, just to see what happens. And I still cried. I'm like, I've not been watching you folk for like a whole season and I'm still upset. But the first 2 seasons, they're just really corny and a lot of fun. And everyone's hamming it up and it looks like such a good time had by all. And the cast of characters is great. Richard Armitage is in it and he's like scowling every second and wearing black leather and looking really sexy. And it's fantastic if you are into shipping and like fanfiction side of things. It is the best show because absolutely everyone could be with anybody else. It's like, seriously, like Sherwood Forest is just full of shenanigans in your mind when you're watching this. Everyone has chemistry with everybody. Richard Armitage's character, Guy Osborne, could easily be shipped with at least 5 other characters legitimately. And the show acknowledges that. They have a lot of fun with it, so it's just a rip-roaring good time of corniness, but I still had a lot of fun with the first 2 seasons. And yeah, had favourite characters and everything, so. And my other show that I had a lot of fun with, which is not here because someone's borrowing it, is Hex. And this was back before Michael Fassbender was a big thing in film, back before he was a big deal and everyone knew who he was. I used to watch Hex, and I felt really naughty for watching it at the time because it was a bit raunchy and stuff, but it is so stupid, but really enjoyable. Season 1 more than Season 2, because Season 2 really went off the rails and didn't even end properly. I think that they thought they were going to get revamped so they'd have an opportunity to do Season 3, but it never happened, so it ends without ending. It's not even ambiguous, it just ends like suddenly, abruptly, and there's nothing is concluded. Season 2, like, I don't think they knew what they were doing though. It made no sense. But Season 1 was a lot of fun, and again just quite cheesy and corny, and yeah, those are my guilty pleasures, certainly Hex and Robin Hood. I've not actually watched Merlin, I've only seen 2 episodes of it, but I'm determined to watch it because I know that Merlin and Arthur is a big /ship pairing that's popular, but I'd just like to see it because I think it could fast become a guilty pleasure as well. I was talking about some TV shows. I hope I recommended some that, you know, might pique your interest if you've not heard of them or watched them before, and those are just some TV shows that I really enjoy, and sorry it took so long, but yeah, TV.